how to use ga, the subject marker in Japanese. So this very essential particle right here, the ga particle, is known as the kind of subject marker. What this means is that it marks the subject of the sentence, and all that really means is just when you see a verb in the sentence, the ga particle marks who or what does that verb.
その曲は私が書いたわ。
And you really can kind of just visualize it as that noun, the noun that comes before ga, that is what's going to be doing the action in the sentence or being a certain way in the sentence, right? This is the subject of the sentence.
見ろよ。鼻の骨が折れてる。
鼻血が出てるだけだよ。
So to make that really clear, let's have a look at some example sentences. Let's say, for example, 雨が降っている. It is raining. That would be a typical way of translating that sentence in very nice, neat English. But what's actually happening here is a little bit different. A more literal translation of this sentence would be, rain is what is falling. Ame ga, rain is what is futeiru, falling. So what this means is it's kind of pointing a finger at the rain, that is what's falling. Not cats, not dogs, nothing like that. It is rain. So, ame ga futeiru. Rain is falling. It's raining. Or for example, kohi ga nomitai. I want to drink coffee. So coffee is what I want to drink. It's like pointing your finger at something. Umi ga mieru. You can see the ocean. Well, in a more literal translation, it would be the sea is what is able to be seen. Or the ocean is what you can see. Umi ga, the sea is what is mieru, being able to see. Now, it doesn't always fit nicely into this translation, but it is often the one that is. What is, the thing that is, the one who is.
じゃあ、行くか。
私が一人で行く。
Like for example here in Final Fantasy VII, 私が一人で行く. So this is, I will go alone. But what's actually happening in this sentence is here Jesse's saying, I'm the one that will go alone. So perhaps implying that the rest are going to go in a group, but she's going to go alone. I'm the one that's going to go alone.
武器が欲しいのか?
You often see it connected with things like 欲しい, to want. So 武器が欲しいのか? Is it weapons that you want? Do you want some weapons?
私はこの町が好き。ただ、それだけ。
You often see this ga particle used when talking about things you like as well. Like here, この町が好き. This town is what I like. So I like this town.
もしかして、あなたが噂の何でもや?
And again, if by chance, you're the one who's the rumored handyman. So a cleaner translation here would be, if by chance, are you the handyman? あなたが you're the one who is, so not anyone else, you're the one who is the rumored handyman.
空が見えるな。
上、工事中だからね。少し、怖いね。
Similar to the example expression we had before, you can see the sky. So, 空が見える. Literally, the sky is what you're able to see. So kind of like, look, the sky is visible. You can see the sky. Very much pointing that finger.
星が死ねば、このあでやかに燃えるお前の故郷が消えてしまう。
Or like here again, if the planet dies, 星が死ねば, this lovely burning hometown of yours will disappear. Now in these two sentences we have actually two uses of ga. So looking at it more literally, if the planet is what dies, then your lovely hometown is what will disappear.
これをつけると元気が湧くの。私のお守りよ。
Here in Octopath Traveler 2, when you wear this, you'll feel more lively. This ga particle, genki ga waku, literally is just genki's like your liveliness, waku is to kind of swell up. So your liveliness will surge up and swell up. You'll feel more lively. So literally, when you wear this, your liveliness is what will surge up.
うわ、これ、アグネがやったの?
Again here in Octopath Traveler 2, Big sis, are you the one who did this? So you do often see this with questions as well, as it's very much like pointing the finger. Is it you who's the one that did it?
そうか、BJ を捕まえるため、悪い宇宙人が作ったロボットね。
Or here in another clip, it's the bad aliens who were the ones that built the robot, right? So warui uchujin ga. So the bad aliens are the ones who tsukutta. They built it.
それに宇宙人が作ったものだと。これが今月分の薬です。
This is what is this month's medicine. So これが this is what is this month's medicine. Very much pointing the finger, right? He's even holding it. This is what is next month's medicine. So he uses the ga particle.
そう、それが私の名前。
So here the robot says the girl's name, Natsuno, and she says それが, so she's pointing the finger, that is my name. それが私の名前. Pointing the finger at that name that the robot said. Ah, that, それが, that's my name.
お前はどこから来た？覚えてない。ドロイドが物を忘れるのか？
Now, this translation doesn't always work, and sometimes it's just marking the subject of a sentence, and you can't necessarily translate it like, is the one that is, but it's just a nice little way of helping remember. Like, for example, here in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, here he says, Doroido ga mono o wasureru no ka? Droids are able to forget things? So here you can't quite translate it in the same way as pointing the finger, but you can see that ga is marking the subject of the sentence. Who's doing the action of forgetting? The droids. What's the action? Forgetting things. Mono o wasureru. And that's the core use here of this ga particle. It marks the doer of the action in the sentence.
Master wa dare da? Padawan. Watashi ga keshita dareka ka?
Like again here, watashi ga, so I'm the one who did something, and what is that action? Keshita. That's like killed or gotten rid of someone. So she's asking who his master is. Perhaps it's someone that she's already killed. So she's the one doing the action, and that's why the ga particle is used, because that's what it does. It marks the subject of the sentence, the person or thing that does the action. And that's true of all of the examples that we've seen. I'm the one that's going to go. I go. So in this sentence, the doer of iku, to go, is watashi. Watashi ga iku. I'm the one that's going to go. And again here, ski, to be liked, this town is what is liked by me. So this town is what I like. Yatta, to have done something here to kind of defeat the monster. Well, who did that action? Ane. Ane ga yatta. She's the one who did the action. Who were the ones that built the robots? Well, apparently it's the aliens who were the ones that built the robots. So the action here is tsukutta, to make, and the ga particle marks who does that action. Uchujin ga tsukutta. The aliens are who made it. So hopefully all of those example sentences makes it really clear. The ga particle just marks the doer of the sentence. Whether it's a verb or some sort of description, it's the kind of the doer of the action. So you might still be thinking, well, hang on a second, what's the difference between the wa particle and the ga particle? So I have a really simple, easy way to look at this that won't take too much time. Pretty simply, the wa particle is used to set the topic of a conversation, like the big header around a conversation. Like for example, kyou wa, as for today, dun 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 dun, then we start talking about today. It can also be used to talk about general truths. Like for example, natsu wa atsui. As for summer, it's hot. That's just a general truth, right? You wouldn't use the ga particle for this. There's no action being done, it's just a general truth. That's what you use the wa particle for. It can also be used to add information about something. Like for example, watashi wa 34 sai desu. So as for me, watashi wa, I'm 34. I think. And it can also be used for contrast, but that's a little bit more of an advanced way of using it. For example, you could say, kare wa 30 sai, but watashi wa 35 sai, for example, right? It can be used for that way as well to kind of contrast and compare, but that's a little bit more of an advanced way. Ga, however, just marks the subject of a sentence, the doer of the action. What's raining? Ame ga futteiru. Rain is what's falling. Who's sleeping? Dare ga netteiru. Snorlax is who's sleeping. Kabigon ga netteiru. So it's kind of pointing that finger. Who's doing the action? It's Snorlax, Kabigon. Or let's say, for example, you're talking with a friend and you're trying to say, this book is really, really interesting. So kind of pointing your finger, this book is what's interesting. You could say, kono hon ga omoshiroi. So if you were just to summarize this in a very visual way, let's say, for example, that you just wanted to make a general statement about Pikachu. You would say, Pikachu wa kiroi. Pikachu is yellow. Or Pikachu wa chisai. Pikachu is small. This is just talking about all Pikachus. It's a general fact about Pikachus. You're describing details about Pikachu. But now let's say, for example, that there are 3 Pikachus and one of them is blue. If someone asked which Pikachu is the blue one, you could respond with, this Pikachu is the one that's blue. Kono Pikachu ga aoi. This Pikachu is blue. So here, you're pointing your finger, right? If we were to look at the exact same sentence, Pikachu is sleeping, but one of them has the wa particle and one of them uses the ga particle. The main difference between these two sentences is the wa particle is emphasizing what comes after the wa particle, whereas the ga particle emphasizes the thing that comes before, the subject. So like for example, Pikachu is sleeping. If we use the wa particle, the emphasis is on the action. What's Pikachu doing? Pikachu is sleeping. Whereas with the ga particle, the emphasis is on the doer of the action, the subject. Who's sleeping? Pikachu is the one that's sleeping. And so you can see that using these particles with the same sentence shows where the emphasis is placed. So hopefully this video has helped you get a stronger feel for the ga subject marker. I know it can be quite overwhelming, especially for beginners in Japanese, but just know that it does get easier over time the more and more you see it. And even if right now you may not have a solid understanding and you can definitely tell when something should be wa and ga, don't worry about that if you can't tell straight away, right? It does take time to develop that. But just remember that ga is the subject marker, and you can kind of look at it as pointing the finger at who's doing the action in the sentence, or what is the thing that is a certain way. The rain is what is raining, games is what I like, that type of thing. So thanks so much guys for watching. I hope the video was helpful for you and hopefully you're enjoying learning Japanese. If you like this video, make sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you love the channel, then consider joining us on the Game Gengo Discord community, where we have all kinds of stuff like constant, pretty much almost 24/7 Japanese support, really amazing community of people helping each other out, chilling out, playing video games together, learning Japanese, asking questions, just a really cool community. So if you'd like to join the awesome Discord community or simply just support the channel, you can join and support us through either Patreon or directly through the Game Gengo website, and Patreon doesn't take a cut or anything, your support goes directly to the channel. As always, this video is a part of a much larger collection that I'm actually going to be building a huge grammar database. I actually have one currently working on my Discord, which is just a huge collection of all of the grammar points, and my aim on this channel is to make a video on every single piece of Japanese grammar using examples from Japanese video games. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all again in the next video. See ya.